And now that the bag is like pretty perfect, I did debate on whether I wanted to go over and paint it still because it looks so good, but because of all the glue, I'm going to paint it. So here we have, just give me a moment, sorry for my reach. So I've used this with you guys before, the satin acrylic finisher. That's the liquid top coat, but today I'm gonna do black instead of brown. So black acrylic leather. So yeah, let's start the painting. Can't wait to see how this turns out. I actually ordered a wallet as well, and I'm debating whether I want to paint the damaged parts of the wallet black to match my bag. So when the wallet arrives, I'm gonna see how bad the damage is and if it needs a lot of glue where I need to paint it as well. Oh, I almost forgot, you guys. Remember to tape off where you're not painting. So I'm gonna go get some painter's tape and paint this off. I mean, tape this off. So I'll be right back. So just standard painter's tape. Any brand would probably work. Right now I'm using Scotch brand. So you just tape off along the lining so you don't get paint on the canvas area. So I'm gonna go ahead and tape this off and catch you right back. Okay everyone, so I went around and I taped off the areas where I'm gonna paint. Now the handles, you wanna make sure that you get the tape underneath the leather just to ensure you don't get any paint on your canvas. And these edges, I tried to pull it open and tuck it inside. And obviously I did have areas where I ripped the tape, so I just went over top it again. So yeah, now we'll start the painting process. Just prepping my work surface here. So we'll see how well this paint covers the cracks. Now, a leather dye, you would be able just to daub it and it'll cover the surface a lot faster than painting. But because of all the glue that I put on here, I'm not sure how well the dye would work. So possibly in another purse, I'll try working with a dye instead. But I'm just gonna go through and paint the whole bag and get back to you guys. No, Justin, no. All right, everyone, so I did the first coat here. One thing I forgot to do was I forgot to prep the leather by go overing it all with nail polish remover. That would help the paint adhere better. So I'm not sure without the prep what would happen, but I'm sure it should be fine. After painting it, I noticed that it was getting streaky because I'm using a paintbrush. I know with the dye, you just use a dauber and you go through the whole thing, and what you're scared of is, I guess, strip marks. But this one is leaving streak marks. So what I did was I went and got my baby's missing sock, and I just kind of went along while I was painting. That's why this side is lighter, because I didn't want streak marks. Like you can see on this side there's streak marks because it dried, whereas this side can't really feel the streak marks because I went over it with a sock, and I basically just go through it multiple layers, I guess, but you kind of wipe off the excess paint so there's no streak marks. You gotta do it before it dries because the paint dries pretty quick. So this is what my bag is looking like. I put more masking tape here so I can put the handle down and not worry about paint getting on the canvas. So black, custom black Alma. It's a little sticky. I think I'm gonna let the paint dry a bit before I go over it with a second coat. And so yeah, when you guys paint, remember nail polish remover. Go over the leather with the nail polish remover, and grab a sock so that when you paint it on, you just kind of go over the streaks so there's no streaks, because when it dries you can see the streaks. I don't know how clear that camera is. But yeah, you can see streak marks on the black paint. And as I predicted, my Louis Vuitton sign is disappearing. I really tried to do a really thin coat here, just so the Louis Vuitton stamp is still visible. But I will have to go through a second coat, so we'll see how that turns out. So for now, I'm gonna let the bag dry and sit for a bit. I didn't worry too much about the hardware. I just went right in there, in the creases and everything, because I didn't want any brown to show. So we'll go over the hardware with brass cleaner later. But for now, we want this bag to be all black. So I'm just gonna let this sit and dry, and I'll go over it with a second coat later. All right, see you guys later. Hey everyone, so it's been quite a few hours. The kids are sleeping again. So now I wanted to show you, I've done 2 coats. It turned out really well. What I did was I put on a layer of paint, and I took that baby sock and I would just pat it, and the streaks have disappeared. Can't really see the streaks anymore. There's some old streaks in there still, but it's quite good now. You can't really see the streaks anymore. So definitely pat it. I did run into some problems with the glue on the handle. Once you put the paint on, it's quite tacky and it kept sticking. And like I said before, and I showed you an area where when it gets stuck, it's kind of like your hands. You can just literally peel it off your skin. So that's what's happening on the handle of the bag right now. So if I ever have to do a handle again, I probably won't go the glue route. I would definitely look for a leather compound filler. I just wanted to show you here. I folded down right there, let the handle rest. You see it peeled off tiny bit of leather there, and on the handle here. So definitely glue is not the best choice. Glue is definitely not the best choice. I'm hoping that once I go around on it with the acrylic finisher, then it would seal off and make the glue less tacky. If not, I might have a problem, and I might have to start peeling away the glue as best I can and sand down the handle, because when you use it and it keeps peeling on you, that's not very good. So first problem. And other than that, You can't even tell where I did the handle repair unless you really focus in on it. The handles are turning out well, like the color, sorry. It's very sturdy. So I've done 2 coats. I think I'm gonna let it dry overnight and go through it in the sunlight again where I can still see some brown. Now, when you're using the baby sock to pat it down, make sure you want to be able to do it in one sitting because the paint actually dries on the baby sock, and then once you start patting it, you get paint residue on your bag. So because I'm doing this project in between feeding, changing, bathing, cooking, the paint had dried off quite a bit, and then when I patted it on the bottom, it really got stuck. So I let it dry, and then I just went with my hand over it. Still, you can still feel little bumps here and there from the paint residue that came off on the bag. But you know what? It's the bottom of the bag. It's not going to bother me too much. I'm quite happy with the results of this bag, minus the tackiness of the handle. So we'll see how the acrylic finisher turns out, and I'll catch you guys when I am complete after the bag is dry. I'm just gonna go ahead with the acrylic finisher, let that dry, and then I'll come back and show you guys the final results. All right, catch you guys later. Bye. Hey everyone, so I'm back again. I let the paint dry overnight. What I did was I went in and I did 2 layers of the top coat. Turned out quite well. The handles do still feel a little sticky, but they're not sticking together anymore. And they're not so tacky that the paint will peel. So I'm just gonna leave it as is for now. If I have any problems later, I'll probably peel off the glue and try a leather filler instead. So I wanted to show you guys the results so far. I haven't peeled off the tape yet. So right now, the handles don't feel like leather anymore. They feel more like a patent leather. They're more sticky and more thick. So the overall looks more like a patent leather now. And now I also wanted to show you, I said that cleaning the hardware was going to be easy, but it's not so easy. So what I'm going to use is this Brasso. It's supposed to easily clean the hardware, but because of all the crevices in there, and you don't want to get the Brasso on the leather because it could ruin the leather. So I went in and I did the first hardware here, and it was really hard to get into the little crevices. So I ended up taping off the leather, and it's a lot harder to remove with the Q-tip than I thought it would be. If I had known, I would have approached these hardware areas differently. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and clean the rest of the hardware. What I did was I just started scraping them off with my fingernail, and oddly, the areas where I had caked on the paint by accident scraped off so much easier than the areas where I had less paint. So anyways, I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna clean up the hardware, and then I'm gonna peel off the tape and show you guys the finished result. I'll be back in a jiffy. Brasso. Hey everyone, so I have gone along all the hardware with Brasso, and want to show you guys how it's looking good. I was gonna peel off all the tape and show you guys the final result, but I figured since you guys have been following along, we do it together, so we do the unveil together. I also wanted to mention that when I taped off the leather, I was in too much of a rush to peel off the tape. So it's only been overnight, so the paint quite isn't dry yet, and I kind of just rush things. So make sure you're easy when you're peeling off the tape, otherwise you're gonna have to do a touch-up like I did. I also want to show you the miracle of Brasso. So if you look here, it's quite shiny and beautiful, but I did want to show you, I used Brasso on half this lock. See? I don't know if you guys can see, but look how shiny and new half that lock is, this side. This is still dull and dingy. Reflection. But yeah, beautiful, brassy, with Brasso on this side, smooth. This is still dirty, dingy, brown, oxidized. So yeah, Brasso. I'm gonna go through it with the rest of the hardware, the zippers. But let's do the unveil. So hopefully the tape doesn't stick too much. I do see a little bit of areas where I will need a little bit of touch up on the black paint, because I'm looping off the paint off the ends here. Not a problem. I guess this is kind of like peeling off the tape off your freshly painted moldings. Just nice, slow and steady. I rushed it too much, and now I gotta touch up the edges. Just too excited. Không có qua mami, qua bên kia. Sorry, my toddler decided to join us again. You know, when I was growing up, me and my siblings used to play Mario Kart on our DS all the time together. And I am now letting him play with my pink DS Mario Kart. He gets to play when the little one is sleeping, so he doesn't make too much noise and wake the little one up. That is why you hear game in the background. Oh, it looks good, guys. Looking really good. few touch-up spots, but that's okay. Even when you paint your walls, you'd have to touch up anyways, right? Almost done. One piece of tape is really stuck in there. All right, are you guys ready? Here we go. Final results. Beautiful, repaired, refurbished, customized. I'm just gonna cover the light here. Customized Alma. Beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Beauty. Restored. Didn't go to the junkyard. Got a good deal. Now I can use it and give it new life. Hope you guys enjoyed my video. Catch you in another one. Cheers. Bye.